All right, welcome back, everybody, to the podcast with my great co-host Felix. How are you doing today on this episode 86, which is getting close to the 100 mark?
Yeah, I'm doing good, about as good as can be expected with the unfortunate news that happened in the last few days, which we touch upon later. But apart from that, all things considered, I'm blessed. Been busy with work the past few days, but overall, I can't really complain too much. Yeah, with Evolution happening on Sunday, which I have off, so I'm probably going to be watching Evolution in its entirety. So I'm very happy about that. Um, and yeah, pre-season actually has started today with Liverpool. So, well, not actually pre-season matches start today, but the guys have gone back to training today. So, it's now the build up to the next season is really going to be kicking up now. So excited for that. So yeah, overall can't complain too much.
Yeah, that's great to hear. Just overall in general, yeah, we will talk about the unfortunate, happening probably towards later on the podcast. Just overall, I don't want to
Mhm.
start off with a very big damper thing for for the mood. So I'll hold that to the end. And so you already talked about it. You talked about Evolution. Saturday Night Main Event is also happening, but I really don't know. Um, you know, I know Triple H. Less matches, probably longer time, but we only got three matches confirmed on this Saturday Night Main Event. Makes me not want to actually go to the Saturday Night Main Event at all, even though I could easily. It makes me definitely just want to go to Evolution. So this is, that's the tricky thing. I ain't gonna lie to you, and we'll talk about it later. I'm not really. I mean, I'm sure the matches will be good for what is self minus the main event, which I assume will be Gunther and Goldberg. But I don't know. I don't know if this ain't the best idea to have three matches for a card. It's got to at least have four. To me, to be honest.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there's like going to be a secret match that's not announced that will happen on the show. Because yeah, the three matches on the card just doesn't seem enough. So, especially considering one of them is Gunter and Goldberg, which let's face it, is probably not going to go that long. It's going to go like 5-10 minutes at most. So, yeah, I think there definitely needs to be another match in there, but I'm not quite sure what.
To me, it does not make sense, and I know. Cody is from Atlanta. Why the heck is Cody not on this card somewhere somehow? It makes all sense to have him. The last show, Cody was not on a show for Atlanta. Now, before that, it was Bad Blood, so he was. But last time they had I think it was a SmackDown. He wasn't even on the show. So what? This is a perfect thing to have him on the show, but I don't know who he would even face and everything in general. So that that's the thing to me. Like Cody is a home run person to have on the show, and it makes sense. Doesn't have to be one of these good matches. It could be something that's just quick.
Mm. Yeah, I just don't know who he'd face. That's the only thing. That's the thing with these Saturday night main event shows. Like it, it's hard to predict like what sort of matches they would want on these types of shows because they obviously wouldn't want very high profile matches for these because they're not really PLEs. They're just, I guess, just televised live events, really.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. To
uh,
to a to a degree, it is. They always throw in one title match, even if it's not going to be not much. They always have to throw in a title match or two. So I, you know, I and I know I'm jumping ahead here. Hey, welcome to the stream. Thank you for coming in. Also, anyone that's coming in, I greatly appreciate it. If you like, you don't have to sub. I always say that, but if you do, appreciate you for that. But liking it reaches more of an audience. Cody's Rose is the Coach Rose is the best. A very good finisher. I think that's what you're meaning. But I don't want to jump ahead, but I'm going to. One thing I don't like is the women's United States Championship not being on the card as of this moment. Um,
Yeah,
I, I,
especially seeing like Julia just won the belt.
I know she just won the belt, but you know, I this is where they really messed up with booking Evolution to a degree. They should have gave them more time, just overall for building stuff up, and especially for the women's United States Championship. I don't like that because I feel like she's going to be in the battle royal for a world championship match, and that's very
Yeah,
predictable that she ain't going to win that because she's
yeah.
got the women's United States champ.
I
They, they,
I I do dislike how the women's United States Championship has been booked so much worse than the Intercontinental Championship ever since those two belts were like brought up. I just feel like if you're gonna book one really good, you should book the other one really good. Like it should be an even like
yeah.
priority.
What?
I
Yeah.
it just feels like the women's United States title is a joke compared to the IC one. When John Cena won the belt from Cody, he became a monster. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, he is a despicable heel now. I hope Trish Stratus wins the belt. What the US belt or like which belt are we talking about here? The women,
Oh
the world belt, US belt. Like
no,
which one
no,
we
no,
thinking?
no. I don't know if you follow attention, but she's facing Tiffany Stratton for the women's world championship.
Ah, yeah, no, I haven't caught up with shit at all. So
Yeah, well, I'm caught up with a lot of stuff because of being off, but um, I haven't watched SmackDown for like the last 2 or 3 weeks. I'm not going to lie to you, so um, but overall in general, I just think Evolution could have been built better overall. Hey, welcome to the stream. Good morning, good after. Actually, it's good afternoon for me, but good morning and everything, y'all.
and it's good evening for me because it's late in the evening.
Yeah. Um, but I just think Evolution could have been built up better. That's all I want to say before we even talk about it. I think they should have given more time. And personally, I know they want to somehow counter react all in, but this. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, here he goes with that again. Um, I I don't think Evolution should have been on the same weekend of All In. If you want to do Saturday Night Main Event on with against All In or on that night, okay, cool, go ahead. But I don't. I think the women deserved it to be better overall in general. Oh,
Yeah,
you're on the West Coast then. Okay.
yeah, I agree. I don't like that it's been put on the same weekend as All In. I just feel like that's sort of not been set up to fail because it's still a WWE PLE, so it's still going to do well in terms of people
Yeah.
watching. But it's just of all the shows they put on the same weekend as All In, they choose Evolution to do that. I don't know. I just I feel like Evolution could have been put in a much better position
Yeah.
than it has been, and then also the booking in terms of building it up, and the build to Evolution hasn't been great, like you said either. From what I saw, the little bits that I saw every now and then, I just hasn't been that impressed. Even with probably what's going to be the main event of that show, EO and Rhea, I don't think that's been the best build up either. So and I feel like that's just sort of been rushed because, like, Io and Rhea only had really their first interactions like a couple weeks back, right?
Yeah, it started off with EO basically saying, "Oh, I can pick my challenger." I'm like, when in
Mm.
the hell did a champion ever get to decide who their challenger was for a big show coming up?
Yeah, no, that rarely does happen. That really
So,
rarely
so, so,
happens.
so, so in that aspect, why didn't Becky Lynch say, yeah, I'm facing blah blah blah. I'm not facing Bailey or Lila or Valkyria." Oh, that the common sense on that didn't make any sense. But you know what? I'm trying to just stay away from all that. But yeah, I think these events should have been for next weekend or at the end of the. Just, I mean, I know we got Clash coming up, but they got so many damn events that they should have spaced it out a little bit and have fewer events overall in general. But
I agree. I agree. Like more build to less PLEs is much better than less build to more PLEs. Like
yeah,
instead of having just a few weeks build to a PLEs to the point where like the build isn't that great because you have such short amount of time for each PLE, you should have like at least a month in between PLEs, at least a month to just build stuff up, or a month and a half, or something like that, just to give you proper time to develop storylines for the next PLE and actually make them feel fulfilling and rewarding.
yeah. So Cadence, you are definitely on the West Coast. Boy, that time is terrible. John Cena has no bump. Okay, just like when Paul Heyman left Roman to be accepted for Seth. Yeah, we'll talk about that stuff in general because Seth will be coming up. Um, so I got two things that I need you to guess on. One of them very quick. I think you can probably guess most of these real quick. Fastest world title wins after their WWE debut. There's 8 people on this list. I'm going to say you probably won't know two of these.
Fastest world title wins after their debut. Okay,
Like on
so
like main roster debut, yes.
right, well, Finn Balor has to be there.
Not in the top 8.
Wow.
Not
Okay,
in the
that's
top 8.
that's shocking considering Finn won the Universal title in like a month after his debut. That's crazy. Um,
Well, I don't think he's counting the Universal title.
they should though. That was a world title at the time.
Well,
Um,
well, it's retired now. Remember that. It's
yeah,
retired.
true, true. Brock.
Brock is one. He's number 2 on this list.
Okay. Randy Orton.
No.
No.
Now he won the IC title quick, but it
Yeah.
wasn't a world title.
Let's see. Stone Cold? No, it wouldn't be Stone Cold, would it?
No. Um, let's see here. A lot of these wrestled in the 80s, 90s, um, and still 2000s and 2010s, but
Hmm.
there's one that's older than most of these, and it definitely makes sense because of the family tree.
Family Tree. Okay. Um.
And only one family tree we've talked about.
Yeah. Yeah.
or we get talked about.
Um.
What's good? What's
I.
good? Welcome to the stream.
I'm gonna
No,
get Hulk Hogan.
no, hell no.
Oh wow.
Dirty Dom. What? No. The
Oh
Rock.
god.
The Rock. No, but it is in his family tree.
It is in his Family Tree. God, my mind's blanking. Um.
It's not the Rock. I've already said that. It's not the Rock.
It wouldn't be Undertaker. It wouldn't be Undertaker.
No,
Um.
not Liv Morgan as well. Melody.
It wouldn't be Triple H because
No,
Hunter Hearst Helmsley didn't win shit for like a long time. Um. No,
Rikishi was never really a top
Rikishi
player
was
like
never
that.
a world champion.
But yeah, he was never a world champion. Thinking about it.
Um. hmm, No, it took Kane a while to win a world title. At least I
Yeah,
think it did.
yeah, it did. Not Cody either.
No, no, no. Um,
Boy, how are you blanking out?
Sheamus?
Yes, Sheamus is one. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, because he accidentally won the title from Cena.
Not Bruno, but Bruno has the longest reign of a world title probably ever in history.
Ultimate Warrior.
No, the older the probably the oldest person back to date and not with us at the moment, or not with us alive, I should say. My wording was terrible. Family tree, in the same family tree as The Rock. Um,
Yeah, that's a big family tree. That doesn't really narrow it down.
yeah, but when I say this, if you don't get it, when I say this name, you're going to be like, "Oh, I'm dumb." Not really,
Yeah,
not really, but not Andre. No, he's not in the family tree as The Rock. I don't think so.
no, it wouldn't be Roman because
No.
his main roster debut. He was in the
Okay,
Shield for a
okay,
long time.
we'll come back to that one I'm talking about. This number five, you will definitely get. It's one of your probably one of your favorite wrestlers overall.
AJ Styles.
Yes,
Oh my God. Okay.
he's number five on the list.
Hmm.
Number, I'm just going to go from one. Which WWE superstar has the best theme song? Oh,
That's a tough
theme
one. That's a
theme
tough one.
song. We're gonna
That's a
have to
tough
co-
one.
we're gonna have to come back to that one. I'm gonna have to remember that question. Theme song. That's a tough one. Uh oh, damn! I almost gave you one of the answers, and I didn't. I almost did. Number one,
Jericho.
huh?
Jericho.
No, he's not. I think he's just off this list.
Which family tree? The Samoan family tree.
Yeah, and when I say this name, you will be like, "Oh, that makes sense." But so number
Yokozuna?
one, huh?
No, it wouldn't be Yokozuna. Surely
Yes,
not.
it is.
Oh, it is Yokozuna. Oh, fuck yeah. What a guess. Huh? Hey, nah, you're trolling. You have to be.
Yeah, I don't see no notifications of Teddy Long doing that, but
Okay, yeah. All right. Well, until we see anything, we're just going to assume you're trolling. Um,
um, so no,
because
number one, let's just say he's styling.
Ric Flair.
Yes. Okay, you got six, seven, and eight left. Um, number number seven has been on a lot of these lists.
A lot of these lists.
You've heard his name on so many of this list that I've
Joe
had.
Hendry. Sorry, I just heard it. You heard his name, and I had to say Joe Hendry. Shawn Michaels.
No,
Bret Hart.
no, but you're getting closer with your the letter of your first name of the first name that you just
So
said.
B. Oh, Big Show.
God damn. Yes, yes, this is wrestling and everything. Jeff Hardy, no, no, no,
No,
no, no.
no, it took him a long time.
Um,
Um,
no, yeah. Number eight, doesn't wrestle anymore. Um, but he wrestled. He started out in the '90s, and this is where he got his first title win. He was really quick. He was really quick for someone that probably didn't have a lot of true just entertainment showman's part of it. He was in the Attitude Era. Attitude Era came in. Nobody damn liked him. Nobody.
Nobody liked him. Nobody liked him in the Attitude Era.
Well, when he first came out.
When he first started. Oh, The
No,
Rock.
no, no, no,
Ah,
no, 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 not Rock. Not Rock. I think he came. If I'm not mistaken, he came. What when he came in '97 or early or late '97 or early '98. He was just cocky as can be. I'm not trying to give you the right details for this, but
yeah, no, my mind's blanking on this one. I feel
my,
like as soon as you say his name, though, I'll be like, ah, that makes sense. But my mind's blanking. I
the
said Jericho earlier.
the last detail I'm going to say is USA theme,
USA team.
not the theme song, but when he comes out, you just think of the American flag or just the colors of it.
Well, see, the only one I can think of in terms of that is Hulk Hogan.
Oh my, yeah, like yeah, I can't give it to you, so that's gonna be an X. Kurt Angle.
Oh, fuck off. Oh, I should have known. God damn it.
Number six. I didn't think you was going to not miss Kurt, but number six. He had different names and everything in general. I know this ain't going to help. He had like two different names, but he literally almost went everywhere in the wrestling business, minus AEW because he's not wrestling anymore. Um,
Minus AEW, he's been everywhere else.
no, Maga, no. Cody Rhodes, no. And what my favorite theme song of the women is Rhea Ripley, and my favorite male is Seth Rollins. Don't tell that to Josh. Josh would hate to see that. Um, and why I say Josh would hate to see that. Um, he's another guy, another one in our group message. He don't
He doesn't like Rollins' theme song.
he don't like Seth Rollins' theme song. Um,
Um,
Man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to even give you hints on this. This is how bad I think I am with this one. Um,
been everywhere in the wrestling business except AEW because he's not wrestling anymore. That
it
really doesn't
in
narrow it down.
okay in the Monday Night Wars, he was one of the ones to flip over to WCW, and it was huge. That is the biggest hint and the only hint I can say. He was legit
Wow.
a main part. Now, it wasn't the name he was going by then, but the one he used like first before his name. And if that don't help you, then I can't. That's probably like the best I can really do. I it's no, but he was associated with Hulk Hogan
Associated.
eventually.
So,
Event, eventually
and
later on in the WCW run.
Scott Hall? Kevin Nash.
Diesel,
Oh,
yeah, Diesel,
yeah, Diesel,
Kevin Nash,
Diesel.
Kevin Nash, Diesel, yeah. Okay, we're going to talk about Saturday night's main event, and then I've got another list. Not free. You could probably get. No, I'm not going to have you guess, but I just want your opinion on it. WWE. You know what? We'll just do the entrance part right now, and then we'll do Saturday night main event and Evolution 2, and talk about that. WWE has ranked is wrestling
It wasn't that being
bad.
good again, or was it still kind of iffy? It was when Triple H first took over. It was really good. Like I would say from 2022, 2023, 2024, it was really good. And then when TKO started overseeing shit, it's now started to get a bit iffy again, a little bit in areas. But it's not as bad as the Vince era still. But yeah, TKO hasn't been good for the product at all.
I gotta go.
Um,
I gotta go. Me and my family are going to the lake. Enjoy the lake. Enjoy the lake. Um, but yeah, what Felix said, it's iffy at some parts, but if you watch through a lot of Vince's era, it's not that bad. It's not that bad at all compared to that. Um, so WWE has ranked their own top 10 entrances of female and male right now.
I think
So
I saw this list, and I think I saw this list like recently. I don't remember the list, but I think remember seeing the list and being like, "What?" Like I remember being so confused by some of them.
all right, so when the first four of these entrances are named, I'm like, okay, I'm fine with the top four being that. I'm fine. And then when it gets to five, it just seems like they just put whoever they wanted to on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go from 1 to 10 because I think it's gonna make sense for it to go that way.
Yep.
Number one, Jay Uso. I'm not mad about that because that's all about Jay is his entrance.
Yeah.
Two,
With the whole geek thing. Yeah. Yeah.
two, Cody Rhodes. I'm fine with that. He could be on. If I'm being honest, he could be four on my list, but because they sing to his song and then do the whoa, but I'm more interested of seeing the Wyatt's entrance, which is three, and then Penta at four. The top four, I'm not even mad about. We get to number five, Jade Cargill. I don't know how Jade is five in all this mess, but she is.
I disagree with that. Like Jade has a decent entrance, but it's not top five.
Um, Number six, Jacob Fatu. I'm not mad at that placing, I guess, but all his entrance is got the championship around his waist. He's looking like a badass, of course, but
His entrance isn't anything special, so I no, I don't agree with that.
number seven, Julia. I don't know how Julia's on this list because
Me neither.
I really don't know, but she's seven. And then
Stephanie McKay has a better entrance than her. I'm sorry, she does.
Stephanie does. Damien is eight. I'm not mad with Damien because I do like how he comes in and it's dark and then he does the little punch or whatever and it does the or
Yeah, I
whatever.
do like Damien's entrance. I do like Damien's entrance. And if we're talking about his entrances, his entrance at Mania, Chef's Kiss, that was phenomenal.
Yep, it really was. Nine, John Cena. I understand it. And Punk 10. I don't know. I think seeing this list it makes me realize we need to have better entrances overall.
Mm. Especially considering we used to have a roster with like really good entrances, like Nakamura, Bobby Roode, names like that with like very extravagant entrances. Finn Balor when he was a babyface, like they were like extravagant entrances, and now a lot of the entrances nowadays are just quite generic in nature.
Yeah, they really are. WWE. We're talking about WWE. So if it's not your cup of tea, I understand it. I understand it. Sting
Sting the
had
best
the
entrance.
best entrance. Yeah, yes,
I
yes,
I hear your Sting, but I raise you Undertaker. I raise you Undertaker. But Sting is definitely up there. Sting is definitely up there. But for me, Undertaker will always have the best entrance in all of
yeah,
in WWE history and in
yeah,
wrestling history. To be honest, anytime the gong hits and Undertaker's entrance happens, it gives goosebumps. It's gotta be Undertaker. Um, although, wait, hold up. We're talking about like the top 10 entrances in WWE right now. How is Aleister Black not one of them? For just saying, just saying. How is Aleister Black not one of them?
I don't know. Welcome to the stream. Hello from Russia. Oh, hey, appreciate you for coming in. Thank you so much. I don't know how Alistair ain't in that. Because if you're gonna put Julia on this list, Alistair just came back from from AEW to WWE, so I don't really understand how Alistair ain't even on there. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. This list is kind of really trash after you get the top four. And
Yeah, it's the fact that they put Julie above Cena, and it's just like, do you really believe that? Do you really believe that Julie has a better entrance than John Cena, or even Jade Cargill? Like, do you really honestly believe that Jade Cargill has a better entrance than John Cena? 'Cause that is just madness to even
yeah,
think.
see, I wouldn't be mad to see Jade in this top 10, like at the bottom. I wouldn't be mad at that because I think her her theme song with how she comes out and has the stuff coming down. I don't think that's a bad idea overall and not a
No,
bad entrance, but it's not top five worthy. No,
no.
it's not.
I just think like some of the best women's entrances are not in this list, not in this top 10 list. Rhea, Io, Stephanie Vaquer, like there are just three of the examples I can give that if you're going by women's entrances, they probably should be in there.
Yeah, honestly, after four, if they would have put Alistair at five and then did some of the women's or Punk, Cena and Punk with those three
Punk,
women you
yeah.
just with those three women you just said, that would probably be a way better top 10 overall. Maybe even have Punk out of here and then have Damien be, because I kind of like Damien's better overall anyways. So like
Mm.
if they would have had a combination of everything, I don't know. It's just a bad list. But let's get away from the list for now, and let's talk about Saturday night's main event and Evolution 2. We will go to Saturday night's main event. Only three matches on the card as of now. We might have one put in there. I saw Ric Flair's daughter was in there, which is pretty cool. Huh?
He's talking about Charlotte.
Was in there of what? I don't.
Uh, I
That's
in there. I'm guessing he means like in the company. Because I think he's like an older fan, so he's not really as well known with the current like roster and stuff. So I think
oh, okay, okay.
I think he's just talking about it's cool to see Ric Flair's daughter in
Oh, okay, okay,
WWE on the
okay.
roster.
Look. I'm not. My brain cells might not be there. Oh, okay, okay, yeah. You're definitely an older wrestling fan. Then I get that. I get that for sure.
Yeah, and she's won probably just as many fucking titles as Ric Flair too.
Oh boy, yeah. Saturday night main event, only three matches. Maybe there'll be another one probably announced for on SmackDown or maybe throughout this week sometime. Because I don't think three matches is the right call for this. I think you gotta have four matches. I mean, you got 2 hours worth. Uh, yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
is she
yes.
currently a heel? I think she's currently a heel, right? Or is she currently a babyface? She most of her career she's a heel, and a decent one. It's just that she's very hit and miss. Let's just say, she's very hit and miss for a lot of people. Um, I just think her character just needs a bit of originality. I just
Yeah.
my personal take on Charlotte.
Well. She's with Alexa Bliss doing a tag team right now. I don't know. So I would put her in the middle of being a face or a heel, just at the moment because Alexa Bliss is loved by people. Charlotte
Yeah.
ain't, but she's with Alexa, so I don't know. But Saturday night's main event, maybe they add a fourth match on SmackDown or something like that. But this is the card as we speak. Um, we'll talk about Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton. Drew McIntyre came back last Friday from that awful bump that he had with the back of his head and probably just taken a little bit. He might have took a little bit more time off just to, relax and get the body correct for this upcoming run. I love me Randy Orton, but I don't see Randy winning this one, and Drew should win since it's his first match back. And you gotta start building up Drew. I love Drew and everything, but um, Drew has to start winning more and more matches, and I think he's got to get back to that world title picture. So this is a great start to beat Randy, and yeah, I think if it was me booking Randy right now, I would have him going on the spiral, just keep on losing streak. So when he does turn, it's going to mean a lot. So I got Drew winning at Saturday night's main event.
I was going back and forth on this because, on one hand, I do think Drew needs to win because he's just come back, and it would be a big win for him on his return. But I'm also like thinking about like potential Randy in the title picture around SummerSlam time or a little bit after SummerSlam. And just thinking whether Randy needs the momentum for that. But I think you made a really good point in terms of maybe Randy goes on a downward spiral, so like that causes the turn to happen. And so it makes the heel turn a bit more impactful for when he maybe turns on Cody after he wins the title back from Cena, which is what I'm thinking personally. I'm thinking Cody wins the title back from Cena, and then Randy turns on Cody, and then that's the next big storyline. So yeah, I'm probably gonna go along the same way as you in terms of having Randy go on a downward spiral, build into the turn. So yeah, I'll go Drew McIntyre to win.
Yeah, I just don't I don't I mean I see a scenario where Randy wins, but I don't think it makes really tons of sense right now. Um and I would legit hold off on Randy's heel turn for a long time. I'm not talking about maybe even have him turn when they face at WrestleMania and it's babyface versus babyface, but he ends up turning as a heel.
So
And
basically, do with Randy and Cody what they should have done with Cody and Cena the previous Mania. Basically, is what you're saying. I wouldn't be mad at it. I wouldn't be mad at it. Damn, Randy's been working a long time. Yeah, Randy's still going, good as ever. Really,
okay, well, let's see. Josh with a hot take. I really think
controversial
we're
take
getting.
from me. I really think we're getting a double turn in that WWE title main event,
Mm,
as
mm,
in the one inside of that main event.
I mean, a double turn would be Cody turns heel and Cena goes back to
Ah,
baby.
you're talking about that one. Okay, yeah. To be honest, it's been teased. Because I think Cody has mentioned in an interview recently saying that he's at the tail end of his face run. So is that Cody teasing that he's going to turn heel soon? So it could be a possibility. Yeah, so no, sorry, SummerSlam. Yeah, I got you eventually, but yeah, because Cody did say he's at the tail end of it, of his face run, but he also did say it could be in like a year or two from now. So it depends of whether you want to read into it too much about like how soon that turn might be. Randy debuted when it was still the WWF. Yeah, yeah, Randy's been going a long time. Fair play to him, and yeah, he's good as ever, really. But yeah, I'm I personally could see it a double turn because it could be like Cody learning from his mistakes and embracing the evil side and to in order to win the title back, and then that's when Cena turns back into a babyface. I could see it. I I don't know though. I personally think just Cody getting revenge on Cena and then having Randy turn on Cody later on would be probably the better story, I
Mhm,
would think. So
mhm.
I'm gonna say no for now, but if it happens, I wouldn't be shocked. Put it that way.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm fine if he does if they do a double turn because eventually Cena's got to turn babyface for
Yeah.
the last little bit of his final career. Um, but I don't I don't see Cody turning. I know he's been teasing it, that it's coming up soon and everything like that, but I don't think it's happening. I think it will happen sometime next year though. But I don't think it will happen this year. So sometime next year he will turn heel. I think so, but I don't think right now. But yeah. So you got Drew as well, right?
Yeah, I got Drew as the winner, yeah.
Yeah, I just haven't been around for a long time. I really don't know anyone of the old guys. um, Other match, Seth Rollins versus L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, I'm glad we on that. I love the new scenery that LA Knight has of being on Raw. I think he should be one of the ones that goes to Raw whenever they have the superstar draft or shake up or whatever they want to damn call it. I think him being on Raw would be perfect because it just has a different element for him. And he just been on SmackDown for way too damn long. I'm sorry. Sometimes you can tell when a superstar's been on a show too long. And it's time for just a new change. So, um, match wise, I don't know. I'm gonna let you do the prediction first.
Um, I'll be honest, I haven't really been seeing a lot of build with this match, so I don't really know why they're feuding. Um, like I said, I've been so busy with my life the past month, I haven't really been keeping an eye on the product a lot. So, forgive me for not knowing the ins and outs of why they're feuding and etc. etc. I just know Seth has the group going on, which is good for him. Um, I don't know how good the group's been. I've seen little clips here and there, but nothing extravagant. So I don't really know how that group is doing in terms of how well it's going and if it's getting on with the crowd and if it's working well for Braun and Bronson Reed and those guys. Um, yeah, I just know Seth is Mr. Money in the Bank, and he's got the group going on. So I'm just gonna go with Seth wins because I just feel like that's the most logical thing here. So I'm probably just gonna go with Seth wins here. I might be going completely wrong here, but I'm thinking Seth wins.
Um, so to basically answer, about his group and why this is even a feud. Um, you know, his LA Knight's really going after the entire group because they cost him money in the bank and
Mm,
everything. So that's the main reason. So he took the opportunity away from Bronson Reed to be in King of the Ring, I believe. Took out Braun Breaker, so now he's going after Seth Rollins. That's like the main thing. And Seth ain't really giving him the time of day at all, and he's worrying about other things. So LA Knight, this is a prime thing for LA Knight to probably win this match. I would say, but I think it's going to be one of those where the ref gets hit or something. I think it's going to be one of those, and Seth Rollins' group comes out, and everyone minus Sami Zayn, I think LA Knight and Penta, I think Penta will come out and try to help them. They're setting up for War Games on Survivor Series. You can tell. So I'm gonna go LA Knight and be different, but I could really see where Seth wins too because they looked very dominant on Monday, and I think they will be dominant. I think they'll be
Well,
dominant looking forward to.
does this group have a name yet?
don't don't get me started with this category with this topic. No, they do not.
They
So
do not have a name. How do they not have a name for Seth's group yet? It's like they're doing it on purpose. It's just like, yeah, no, we're not giving them a name because fuck you. WWE been doing too many ref bump spots lately, in my opinion. I mean, I can't really comment on that. I haven't really been watching a lot recently, so I can't really comment on that. But if they're doing them a lot, then yeah, they probably need to tone down on them. Ref spots, ref bump spots in general. I like them, but only when they're done right in specific circumstances. Like, if your story really calls for it, then do it because it can add to a match in terms of
mhm.
building tension and all that. Especially if you want to make near falls out of that, especially. But if it's done constantly, it's like near falls in general. Like, if you do too many near falls of finishers and stuff, it just kind of takes away from the impact of it. So it needs to be done sparingly. So if you think they're doing them too much, then you probably are correct.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think they're doing it too much. I agree with Josh with that. Just overall in general. So you got Seth, I got LA Knight. That's just throwing out of the ballpark. Talking about the group last night, I personally enjoyed Braun Breaker taking the microphone basically away from Seth when Paul was going to give it to him. I want to hear more of Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, like they did last night. I don't want to hear Seth Rollins damn talk for 10 minutes. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Don't really care. I don't have to hear Seth talk every single time they do a promo or a segment in general. I liked what they did last night, but I really don't think Braun Breaker needs to be in that group. He needs to be with him by himself or paired up with just Paul Heyman in general very soon. But
I think that
I don't think that's going to happen very soon.
I think that will happen eventually, though. I do think that's what they'll eventually build to, is Braun breaking out on his own, turning on Seth and the group, and Paul probably goes with him. Because we all know Paul. He never stays around with someone too long.
And Paul and Seth just doesn't feel
I was gonna say, does Paul and Seth feel right? Because it probably
no,
doesn't.
no, no, it don't. It don't. It really don't, when even when Paul Heyman was with Brock and then turned on Brock to go with the Big Show. I mean, it's still semi. It's that made more sense with going to with the Big Show, even though it wasn't for like the longest. Than he does than when he turned on Roman with going to Seth and turned on Punk to go with Seth. I just don't think it's really been good and a good parent overall.
When Seth gets the WWE World Heavyweight Championship belt, we'll see the turn, but slowly, methinks. Yeah, I agree. Because I think Seth will eventually, obviously, hold the world title with Paul by his side in the group and everything, be dominant for a little bit, but then Braun will turn on him eventually. Um, yeah,
But
that.
but but you're but the last couple of weeks you've seen teases here and there of them already having Braun want to turn, and then he'll come right back, with Seth. So like I don't know. And
That that
they don't have a name for the damn group since after WrestleMania. So that tells me, what if this group doesn't stay together for long and that's why they don't have a name? I don't
Pro-
know.
Probably. I mean, who knows? That is a solid shout though, because the fact they don't have a name still after how long they've been together, like they've been together since around WrestleMania. So,
Raw after WrestleMania was when Braun Breaker came in, and then the Saturday Night Main Event little after was when Bronson did. So
well, so what? Like 2 3 months they've been together, and they still don't have a
yes,
name.
no name,
So,
no name.
yeah, I it is a solid shout that maybe that group won't last very long because they just still don't have a name. But who knows? But
Yeah,
yeah, I think either way, I think Seth wins, and I think Seth eventually does win the World Heavyweight Championship, and we'll see Braun turn, and then we'll see Braun take Paul with him. Because I do agree, Paul and Seth together just seems weird. Like you can tell when something's not a right fit, and that to me is not a right fit. Like Paul, he felt like a right fit with Brock, with Roman, even with like Punk back in the day, or Big Show, even though that was a short amount of time. With Seth, it just doesn't feel right. Like you can tell, like Seth doesn't need Paul, and Paul doesn't need Seth. Like they just don't need each other. Seth can very easily just be on his own. Like he doesn't
yeah,
need Paul next to him.
yeah. So
Um,
yeah, so I think he'll look. I think every time I see Paul Heyman with either Bronson Reed or even Braun Breaker, one of those guys, whenever I see him with Heyman, it feels more genuine than when he's with Seth. And that
mm.
should never feel like the case when Seth is the main guy on the group. So that's the only thing that I'll say about that and move on. Um, the main event of Saturday night's main event. Um, Gunther defending the World Heavyweight Championship against everyone's favorite old guy, Goldberg. Now, I will say this, and I said it on my Raw review for last night. The way Goldberg came into the arena with the car and everything and did like a little spin out and like and stopped it and everything looked cool. I'll give him that. That's about the only thing I'll give him. Um, but do I care about I don't know how old he is. I want to say 54. A 54-year-old Goldberg that can barely probably move around in the ring, probably needs surgery on this and that. I could care less. Um,
if Goldberg wins, me and my friend Mark will start watching. Me and all seriousness, I will be cross. You're not the only one. I think if Goldberg wins, you will see a molten meltdown on Twitter.
now look, now look, and I don't want to be play devil's advocate here. Look at the reactions he's gotten with the crowds when he showed up, Goldberg.
Oh, don't try and rationalize this, Tyler. Come on now.
Look, the company hears those reactions. Guess what? They might just pull the trigger on it.
Tyler, if this happens now, I'm blaming you. If he wins the title now, I'll be blaming you. Just so you know. Just so you know. I swear to God, if he wins the belt.
Look, I don't want him to. Trust me, I don't want him to. But the company hears that reactions. Triple H um is probably one of the biggest Gunther supporters out there. I mean, you can tell. Gunther is his man. So that is the only reason I'm saying Gunther's going to retain. But don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if Goldberg wins on
Oh,
Saturday.
trust me, I
Event.
won't be. I won't be surprised if he does because we have been here before. Another person was also a world champion and facing Goldberg at a certain pay per view in Saudi, nonetheless, and someone who was more hot than Gunther at the time. Sure, maybe not in terms of like dominance wise. Actually, yeah, a little bit dominance wise, but in terms of popularity of the crowd, he was way harder and still lost to Goldberg in a disgusting fashion. And yes, I'm talking about the Fiend here because that was disgraceful. So if the Fiend can lose to Goldberg and lose his title, then Gunter certainly can. So the possibility is there, which I'm terrified of. But I like to hope that Hunter has enough sense, unlike Vince, that he would not put the title on Goldberg, especially at the age he is at. Because even if he won the belt, there's not even a guarantee he'd be able to defend it because his body will break. So, yeah, with all that said, there's only one outcome here. And that's Goldberg winning the belt. No, I'm kidding, kidding. Gunter retains. Gunter has to retain. If he doesn't retain, then this will be the worst booking decision that Triple H has ever done.
I'm
It
trying.
would be.
I'm trying to think if I've seen worse by him. What's up? Welcome to the stream. Um, I hate to put this in the universe, but and y'all going to hate me, so I'm going to just say this. I'm going to change my prediction. I think Goldberg is going to win, and I think Seth Rollins is going to cash in.
Oh my sweetie. I mean, I could see that. Unfortunately, I could. Unfortunately, I could see that because then that'll be a quick way to get the belt off Goldberg. But oh god, please don't do that. Oh, that would discredit Gunter so much. Goldberg will win the title. I hope not. Like,
No,
you
no, no,
already.
no, 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 no. Look. I wanted to get it riled up, and I'm kidding. I think Gunther is going to retain. Don't think they're going to be a cash in yet. But I wouldn't put it out of possibilities because Seth hasn't interacted with Goldberg or Gunther, and he's had the case there, but he hasn't really done much. So
I just hope he doesn't win the belt. I don't want Gunter's reputation to be ruined, or because like they just after losing the title to Sami Zayn, they only just now like really started to get back that momentum that Gunter had previously. Like when after beating Pat McAfee, which they for some reason had to do, and then winning the belt back. I just feel like you can't do all that just to have Goldberg ruin all that.
yeah.
So yeah, no, I think Gunther has to win. Like he has to. Like just and I think it should be quick too. Like have it be 5 minutes. Like do spear, jackhammer, 1-2, kick out, power bomb, fucking splash, kick out, chop, whatever. Just have it be basically do it like Brock Lesnar and Goldberg at WrestleMania 33. Just have it just be all out, just 5 minute to 10 minute car crash, and
Oh no, not 10 minutes. 5 minutes at most. That
or
man Goldberg is going to literally pass out if it's 10 minutes. I'm telling you
okay,
right now.
yeah, okay, yeah, 5 minutes. Just have it be a 5 minute just crash, just no stopping, just go, fit as many moves in as you can in those 5 minutes, and then boom, call it a day. And Gunter retains. You both look like Kevin Owens and AJ Styles from Team U. I mean, yeah, I have been compared to Styles in the past because hair, but yeah,
I don't know about Kevin Owens, but I'll take it, I guess.
I,
Um,
I
but
don't know. I see it a little bit, just a little bit.
um, but that's all with Saturday night's main event. They probably gonna add something eventually, but not now. Even 5 minutes is sketchy. Yeah, it is, but I would hope to God that Goldberg can at least have it for 5 minutes. Have the ability to just do 5 minutes. Don't know if it's going to happen though. but we'll
If he
see.
goes through the jackhammer, I hope he actually hits it correctly this time and doesn't drop Gunther on his head like he did to the Undertaker.
Yeah, yeah. The Yeet Man will not be at Saturday night's main event. Um, let's go to Evolution 2. The match card as it sits right now. 7 matches. 7 matches as it sits. I think they could add an eighth if they wanted to, but 7 is fine with me and everything. LA Knight needs to win the world championship. I could see that in the future if he's on Raw. If he's on Raw. But Evolution 2, 7 matches. We will start off. I know you probably don't watch NXT. I don't as well. But seeing when JC Jane beat Stephanie Vaquer and everything, I was surprised, but then I was like, Stephanie's going to the main roster. So she will be defending against Jordan Grace. I think this is a perfect time. If Jordan Grace was supposed to come to SmackDown, I thought, but those rumors have like stopped. What's up? Welcome to the stream. Socorro needs to defend her title. It would make sense, but she's in the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Championship match that Roxanne and Raquel is defending, so she's already on the card. Um, I guess if Jordan isn't coming to SmackDown, this is the perfect time to have Jordan have a run for the NXT Women's Championship, I believe, and then give that to Mariah May in the future. Blake Monroe. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that name still, but it is what it is. WWE always loves changing names up, anyways. Um, so I just say Jordan Grace. I don't watch NXT as much, but I do
And we
watch
look
NXT.
I think JC Jane retains by Mariah May, Blake Monroe going heel, turning on Grace.
Hmm.
Could see it. I could see it, but I'm more inclined to go with Tyler on this one. Although I don't know, because I can also see JC Jane retaining, and then Jordan Grace having a feud with Blake Monroe, losing that, and then going to the main roster. I don't know. It could go either way. But I think I'm gonna more go for Jordan Grace winning, and then winning the belt, and then you can eventually do Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe for the title, like you said, and then have Blake Monroe win the belt. So yeah, I think I'm more inclined to go with that.
Yeah. I have a crush on Liv Morgan. She is hot. Yeah, Liv Morgan is hot for sure. I think DX should get back together. Yeah, they're kind of back together right now in the creative writing team.
In the
So,
creative writing team, yeah, in retirement, and yeah, may they stay that way, especially Triple H, because if he went back in the ring, he'd die, or at least a good chance of it.
when do you think the
OTC
OTC is returning? Well, he's going to feud probably with Seth or something when he
Seth,
gets
yeah.
back.
Considering what happened, so he's probably going
I
to feud with Seth when he comes back, and he's probably going to come back around SummerSlam time.
Yeah, I could see him coming back before then and having Roman and Seth at SummerSlam. I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Considering the NXT Women's Champion is defending her belt in a double belt match in TNA against Marsha, I forgot about that. I did see something about that. No Cody Rhodes or John Cena on Raw yesterday. Yeah, well, Cody's a SmackDown person, so um, but yeah, we're gonna go with Jordan Grace to win. I don't know. Maybe JC does win. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't follow NXT like that. I wish I could, but I just don't. Um, let's talk about the battle royale that they have, which is it seems like it's probably going to turn into a mini Royal Rumble and everything. They should just have entrances for all these women. Um, So whoever wins this battle royal will have a World Women's Championship match at Clash in Paris. Um, the only names announced which I'm fine with only 6 names announced, which is fine with me. I'd like to be surprised if I'm at the event, like I will be, or if I'm watching on Netflix or Peacock. Ivy now Stephanie Vaquer, Nia Jax, his favorite. Nikki Bella just announced on last night. Na- um, Natalia and Maxine Dupree. Them two are not winning it. Um, Stephanie Vaquer should win for me.
Too soon.
I, I,
Too
I
soon.
think I think Stephanie makes sense, but it feels like it's way too soon for her to have a women's championship match on the
Yeah,
main roster.
because I feel like if you had Stephanie win this match, then what do you do? Do you have her have the title match at Clash in Paris and then lose? Because I think it's too soon to put the title on her. Like she will have the title on her like soon because she is destined for that. But I think it's too soon to put the title on her. So I don't know if she's the right pick to win this Rumble. Some say Nikki Bella is probably going to win it just to have her one like last hurrah in Paris, which I could see. I personally don't want to see that, but I probably would say it might happen. Um, yeah, unfortunately, I think it's more likely Nikki Bella wins the Battle Royal than Stephanie Vaquer. So I'm, I just feel like they brought Nikki Bella back for a reason. Like they didn't bring her back just to be in a Battle Royal and lose. So I think they're gonna go Nikki Bella. I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Nikki as well. When when Liv got hurt, that's when everything changed for Nikki for Evolution and everything. So unfortunately for Liv, um, so I do think Nikki's going to win because it kind of just makes sense because she can afford to lose a women's championship match.
Hmm.
It ain't gonna, but it ain't gonna be bad on her. I think it's too early for Stephanie, like I said, and we've seen Nia have championship match over championship match. We don't need to see that. Um,
Yeah, we really
uh,
don't.
and I'm trying to just think of the people that might be there. Maybe Lita. Maybe Lita is a shout if she does return and everything. Lita would be a
Maybe.
shout to win. Um, so
I'll tell you what though, if Io does retain against Rhea, or even if Rhea wins, and Lita is in this, I wouldn't mind seeing Lita win just to have Lita versus Io or Lita versus Rhea. I would not complain.
who do
Who do
you
you
want,
want Heel
Hill?
Cena to drop the belt to? Cody. It just makes sense. It's the only thing that makes sense. Like, there's no other top babyface that has enough credibility to beat Cena. It's just how it is. Like,
Yeah,
it has to be Cody. Like, Cody wins the belt back. It just sort of makes sense for the story. So it's Cody.
yeah, it has to be. Jade Cargill versus Naomi, no holds bar. I like this. I very much like it. This basically ends their feud overall in general.
Hmm.
I thought it was going to be over with and beforehand, but I'm fine with this because it gets them on the card and no holds bar. It makes sense. End it like that. Um, but I think Jade is going to win this again. I don't think Naomi's going to win. But Naomi doesn't need to win. She's got the money in the bank case and everything, so she doesn't have to win this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I feel like if they were going to go this route, um, then they should have had Naomi win the match at Mania just to make it a bit more even. But I guess it's because they don't want to give Jade a loss in general. So yeah, Jade is definitely winning. Um, just yeah, I just feel like they could have just probably done this at Mania with the whole no holds barred stipulation. But I mean, I'm expecting this to be a good match. I'm expecting it to be a better match than their WrestleMania match because I feel like with weapons involved, it will be even better.
Yeah.
Um, who should be heel Cena's last match? See, I don't think Cena's going to be a heel in his last match. That's the thing. I don't think he's going
Yeah.
to be a heel in his last match. I think he's going to be a
No.
babyface. In terms of who I think is going to be his last match, I don't know. It could be
I don't.
Randy. It could be anyone. It's hard to really predict Cena's last match because it depends on what he wants.
Yeah.
Does he want a new opponent to sort of pass the torch onto who he thinks he's going to be the next big star? Or does he want it to be with someone he has history with? Because if it's someone he has history with, then it has to be Randy. Because Randy is arguably Cena's biggest ever rival. That or Edge. Like it's probably those two for me who I think is Cena's biggest rival. Um, in terms of who I think he could face as a new opponent, as to pass the torch onto, I don't know because there's not really any standout names. Like probably maybe Braun Breaker, but I just don't see how they would get there. Um, yeah, no, I don't know. I really don't know, which I'm really annoyed by because I really want to have like a big standout name in my head in terms of who I think is going to be seen as last opponent, but I don't know. Like, oh my god, I think Miz vs. Cena one last time for laughs. No, no,
No.
we don't need to see that.
No.
We don't need to see
But
that.
we both got Jade winning that. So I'm gonna look on my tablet. Let's see here. We go with the triple threat for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship, which I think has legit been the best build to any of these matches in Evolution and makes sense. Everything has made sense through this storyline and going through it. Um, I will go out on a thing and say Lila Valkyria is not winning the championship back, so it's got to become between Becky and Bailey. And I don't see, I don't. Becky has felt like if Lila did a very good job, but when Becky came in, it felt like it moved the championship more prestige like up a little bit. So I think with that being said, I think Becky Lynch retains here, but I think this could be one of those matches that you look back on and it's like, that might be in my top 10 for, match of the year. So I think that could be the case, but I got Becky Lynch retaining.
I'm gonna go different here, and I think Bailey's going to win. I think like I think that with the whole story of like whole Becky Lyra thing, I just feel like that leaves an opportunity for Bailey to like swoop in to like sort of take the title from both of their noses, and I feel like it could be a way to have Bailey feel. Oh, I don't know what's the word. Just not justified. I'm trying to think of another word, but I can't think of it. Like have her get her own back for missing out on Mania due to Becky and all that. I sort of like have it go full circle with Bailey originally being that match, and then probably Becky attacking her and taking her spot, and then Becky going on to have the success that Bailey probably should have had, and now Bailey's going to get her own back at Evolution and take the title from Becky. So I'm going to go Bailey here. I think if Bailey doesn't win the title at Evolution, then I think she wins it from Becky in a one on one match at maybe SummerSlam. But I don't know. I feel like Bailey winning the belt at Evolution probably would be a nice moment for her. So yeah, I'm gonna go Bailey.
Hey, that's very understandable right there. Um, I think it's got to be one of those two that wins the match for sure. Um, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez defending against Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, Soko Ruka and Sarah, and the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane. Adding Asuka and Kairi to this match makes the match just feel a little bit more than it did with the three teams. Seeing that power and everything. Um, I'm gonna be honest. This is probably gonna be you. I don't know if you're going to agree with me. I think we're going to have a different opinion here as well. Obviously, I don't think the NXT team of Socorro and Zara is going to win. I don't think they're going to win this match. Um, and I don't think the Kabuki Warriors are going to win because they just got added to the match basically last night.
Mm.
So it goes down to, is it going to be a retain or is it going to be Charlotte and Alexa? And I don't see Charlotte and Alexa. I see Raquel and Roxanne retaining actually.
Okay. Yeah. No. I think I'm going to agree here because I don't see the Kabuki Warriors winning. Not just the fact that it got added in super late, but I think they're more going to focus on singles with Asuka and potentially Kyrie as well.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, NXT team definitely ain't winning. And Charlotte and Alexa, I could see it maybe, but I don't know. I just don't think I have any interest in seeing Charlotte and Alexa with the belts. I just don't. So yeah, I'm probably gonna go the same here and go with a Roxanne and Raquel retain. Yeah,
Okay.
probably gonna go the same as you.
Mm.
Red brand or the blue brand? I've always been a SmackDown guy, me personally.
Yeah,
I've always been a SmackDown guy.
yeah. I've always been a SmackDown guy as well, overall. But the better show right now is definitely the red brand. It's
Yeah,
much.
the better show currently right now in terms of quality is definitely Raw right now.
Yeah. Tiffany Stratton defending the WWE Women's Championship against Trish Stratus. I knew when they did this little stupid tag team of Trishy Time and whatever way back at uh when did they do that? Was it Elimination Chamber or
I think it was Elimination Chamber. Yeah,
when they did the tag team of that? I was like, yeah, they're going to run it back with them being 1-on-1 eventually. I just had a good feeling about it. This easily sets up for a Tiffany Stratton retain and a Naomi cash in. I think Naomi will cash in here. I think I think she's going to cash in and bam, that's your new women's WWE women's champion.
I could see it. Yeah, I could very much see it. I definitely think Tiffany Stratton retains, and I can also see a cash in happening. So yeah, I'm probably gonna do the same as you actually. Yeah, I think Naomi will cash in because it does make sense. She will have just lost to Jade Cargill. So and I always find that people cash in after a loss, like or that same night, or like something along those lines. Like they'll have lost a match, but then they'll cash in later that night. It happens so often. Like probably the most iconic I can remember in my head is Seth losing to Randy at WrestleMania 31 earlier that night, and then in the main event he cashed in and won the world title. So I could see it. Yeah, I could definitely see it. Naomi loses to Jade, and then Naomi cashes in later on that night and wins the women's championship from Tiffany Stratton. Yeah, I could see it. Yeah, I'm gonna go the same as you.
And probably what will be the main event of Evolution 2, Io Sky defending the Women's World Championship against Rhea Ripley. I mean, I know we've seen this before WrestleMania. We've seen it several times, but I think match wise, this is going to be, again, another good match between the two. Maybe, definitely not the best build to it, but I think match wise, this is going to be very, very good. Um, I know a lot of people think Rhea is definitely going to win. I've been going back and forth because I don't. I'm gonna let you take the main event first, so I can
Okay,
gather
okay.
my thoughts a little bit.
Okay, okay. So I've also been going back and forth with this one because it is a bit unpredictable. Like some people will say, "Oh, it's very predictable. Rhea's finally going to beat EO, and that's the reason they've been building to this." I don't know. I don't know because here's my thought process with this. Either they go with Rhea to win the belt from EO, and then they soon follow up with not right away, but soon enough follow up with Rhea versus Roxanne or something along those lines, like with the whole Judgment Day debacle. Um, so either they go down that route, or you can go EO retains against Rhea. Rhea then goes on and deals with the Judgment Day with no title if she goes back to feuding with the Judgment Day and stuff like that, which I feel like is probably what's going to happen. And then you could have EO face Asuka at Clash in Paris. You can have a face Asuka, you can have a face Kyrie, you can have a face whoever, and then maybe eventually build to someone like a Stephanie Vaquer to eventually take the title from EO. Or even maybe even an Asuka or a Kyrie if you really want to build those two up in order to take the title from EO. So I just feel like there's more avenues you can go down with EO as champion than you can with Rhea as champion. So therefore, I'm personally going to think that EO retains here. I know a lot of people are saying like, oh, it makes sense for Rhea to win here because she'll finally get one over EO, blah 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 blah. I don't know. I just feel like with the avenues you can go down with EO as champion, it makes more sense to have EO retain. Rhea can always win the title back another fucking day. You know, it doesn't have to be right away. So I think EO retains.
Um, mm, damn, you make very good points, and I really agree with most of your points. So I think I'm going to go with EO retaining as well. Um, wouldn't be surprised if Rhea won, but I just think it makes it. I think it's a lot of people seem like it's predictable that Rhea's going to win, and I think Triple H is not going to go that route. So yeah, I got Io winning as well. Um, so I do think Evolution 2 is going to be very good. If they add another match, cool. Saturday night main event probably going to add another match, so should be a good weekend. But it's just I'll say this: I feel like they sometimes they overdo the wrestling just in
Mm.
general, and I think this weekend they've done that for sure, just overall in general. So
Yeah.
um, but before we get out of here, I'll let you with talk about Liverpool and just stuff in general real quick. Um, and everything.
Okay, so yeah, before I go into full on detail about Liverpool and about preseason starting and all that with like new signings coming in that we've made some really good signings, I do have to talk about the unfortunate passing of Diogo Jota. Uh, it's one of those situations that it still doesn't feel real even nearly a week later. It's hard to process that a man that we only just recently saw lift the Premier League title a couple months back and who lift the Nations League with Portugal like a month back and literally got married to his long-term sweetheart for you know years and years since they were like in school and literally got married to her a week before he sadly passed. It's heartbreaking, and he got three kids as well. Only 28 years old, and he's no longer a part of this world, and it makes no sense. And it's like, how can you make sense about this? It's, you just can't, and it's just heartbreaking to think about. Like state of the family, and also how the club is going to move on from this. I mean, we will, because time won't stand still. Like, we have to push on. We have to go on towards a new season and try and win things for Jota and try and remember him in the best possible way. But it's going to take time. It's going to take time for the fan base to mourn, for the club to mourn, and obviously, for everyone who loved Diogo and even though us fans, we didn't know Diogo personally, we when you're a when you're a big football fan and when you support a club, the players of that club really sort of you develop an emotional connection to them if you really watch week by week like me. You really develop an emotional connection to the players that you watch play for your club week by week. So like, even though you don't know them personally, for one of them to just be gone like that, it hits hard. It does hurt a lot. But one thing I have loved about, ever since that unfortunate situation happened with Diogo, I really love seeing the world of football come together to show respect to Diogo. Like, not just like everyone at Liverpool, like rival clubs and rival fans, like all collectively showing love and respect to Diogo and his family and everyone that knew him and supported him. Everyone going to lay down flowers outside Anfield for him, including like Everton, which was really nice to see. Players doing his celebration, doing the 20 sign, and it's been lovely to see. It's just, yeah, it's a really heartbreaking situation, but one that ultimately we're going to have to try and move on from. I probably will go more in detail about this on my Liverpool channel. I just haven't had it in me to really talk about it in detail yet on my channel, but I probably will at some point to really get my full thoughts out and feelings out. But yeah, I just want to say rest in peace to Diogo Jota, and also rest in peace to his brother, because his brother also died in the incident, and we have to remember his brother as well. So rest in peace, Diogo Jota, and rest in peace, Andre Silva. You will never be forgotten. You will always be remembered. Um, like Diogo, we don't just remember him for his football as well. Like, he was a great footballer. Don't get me wrong. He scored a lot of important goals for us, but the footballing aspect doesn't matter as much as the person himself. He was a
Hmm.
great person. Like, everyone who knew Diogo would tell you, he was a great person, very humble, very down to earth. Just you could see all the tributes that the Liverpool players are giving him. Like, all the players talk about how good of a person he was. Like, one thing I loved from one of the players, Robertson, he said that Diogo was pretty much the most British, un-British person of all time. Literally had the personality of a British person, but he was Portuguese. Just, it's lovely seeing everyone talk about just how good of a person he was and have him be remembered in that way, because he did resemble one of the best personalities of the locker room, and he will severely be missed. So yeah, I hope that um I hope that the club can push on from this, especially the likes of Salah and everyone else in the squad can push on from this and use this as a way to push themselves forward in the season and try and win the league again for Jota, and try and use this as fuel. Use the pain as fuel to push them on, because that's all we can do. That's all we can really do. Because what other choice do we have? Let it destroy us? We can't let it happen. But yeah, preseason has started today, so um, the first preseason game is in like a week. So we'll now start to see how the new signings start to gel into the team, because we signed Florian Wirtz from Bayer Leverkusen, world class signing, generational talent, who might potentially win a Ballon d'Or in the future if he pushes on. We signed Jeremy Frimpong, also from Leverkusen, to replace Trent, who obviously went to Real Madrid. It'd be very interesting to see how he works, because he's a very much an attacking win back / fullback. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes. and Milos Kerkez, who I think will replace Robertson as our main left back. So Robertson will now be like our backup left back. So, and I'm excited for Milos Kerkez because he was arguably the best left back in the league last season with Bournemouth. So I think he will be excellent for us this season. But yeah, I will go. I would go into more detail, but I know you got work, Tyler. So I'm going to cut it here. But yeah, I just want to say once again, rest in peace, Diogo Jota, and rest in peace, Andre Silva. You guys will never ever be forgotten. And cheesy as it is, you will never walk alone, and their families will never walk alone either, because the club have immortalized number 20. They retired the shirt, which is lovely to see, and they're paying the last 2 years of Diogo's contract to his family. And they're also paying for his kids' education, which is lovely to see. The club have handled this perfectly. So yeah, Diogo's family will never walk alone, and Diogo and his brother will never be forgotten.
Yeah. The only thing I'll talk about, I think whatever, like, if you're a fan of any team, any sport, just in general, and you have someone that's been on your team squad, and somehow, just something like this happens that is something that you can't really avoid sometimes, like instance like this. It's yeah, it's just heartbreaking overall in general. But yeah, I want to give a shout out to Liverpool for at least paying for the rest of his contract to his family and retiring the jersey number. Like that's like a that's the thing that some teams wouldn't do and just stuff like that, but it's the right thing to do. That's the big thing. So shout out to them for that. Um, but yes, we are done with episode 86. Hope you guys enjoy. If you did, please hit that like button, subscribe if you want to. You don't have to. Saturday night's main event and Evolution this weekend should be good. All in this weekend as well. Too much damn wrestling if I want to say it one more last time before I get out of here. And thank you guys for watching. And until next time, we'll see you.
Peace out, guys.